Did you know that infants are ready to learn sign language? 2-year-olds are ready to learn the basics of science, and 3-year-olds are ready to learn coding? Your child is ready to learn, and at Primrose Schools, teachers make the most of this time by creating a joyful, purposeful learning experience unlike any other.
For instance, have you heard of the Primrose Friends? In every Primrose school classroom, teachers use these 12 lovable puppets to make character development joyful, meaningful, and memorable. From exploring generosity with Benjamin the Bear to practicing honesty with Peanut the Pony, every friend plays a special part in helping children learn important values while having plenty of fun along the way. We could all use some friends like that. You can learn more at primroseschools.com. Now enrolling infants through children age 5. That's primroseschools.com for more information.
Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus powered by Peloton IQ. This is Peloton's most elevated equipment with real-time guidance and endless ways to move on your own or with your favorite instructors. It's cross-training reimagined with features designed to make your workout more personal. Gretch, you know that I love an instructor. I love to be told what to do and when to do it. I like to be able to take different classes to change it up, and with my personality, this is how I can get the best workout. The variety of classes I can get with the Cross-Training Tread Plus is unmatched. They have nailed it.
Peloton IQ even tracks your progress and suggests weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. The new movement tracking camera allows Peloton IQ to count your reps and correct your form in real time, taking the guesswork out of your workout so you can train safer, lift smarter, and make every rep count. Let yourself run, lift, sculpt, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
Lemonada.
Hello, we are here for More Happier, a podcast where we get happier. It's the weekend. It's observations and reflections with a bit of a looser vibe. Hey, Elizabeth.
Hi, Gretch.
Today we'll talk about Elizabeth's desire to go back to the office and the joy of making a recommendation that really lands. But first, something making us happier. Elizabeth, what's something making you happier?
Okay, Gretch, what's making me happier is eating the Tom Cruise white chocolate coconut cake. Now, I have to explain this.
Yeah, the Tom Cruise, the cake. I need to know facts.
Okay, so years ago, there was this article about how Tom Cruise sends people in his life this certain white chocolate coconut cake from a bakery in Woodland Hills in the Valley, which is called Doan's Bakery. When that came out, Mom actually sent Adam and Jack and me one of these cakes for fun.
Oh.
And so we ate it and it was delicious. And recently I was wanting to get a cake for Adam and his mom's birthday because their birthday's one day apart. And he said, well, I've never had anything better than that Tom Cruise cake. Let's get that. So I went to the bakery in Woodland Hills and got it and took it to the birthday lunch. And everybody just loved it. And we got to announce this is the Tom Cruise cake. And we had so much fun with it that it has given me great joy. And what's funny, Gretch, is when we went to the bakery to get the cake, we were there maybe like 7 minutes and 3 different people came in and said, I want the Tom Cruise cake while we were there.
Okay, so here are my questions. First, how far is that away from your house?
Not that far. It's less than 20 minutes.
Okay. And then I've never heard of this. Is this something that people know about, or is this a little bit of an insider thing? Like, is it surprising that 3 people knew about it?
Well, it must be that is still circulating, this idea that Tom Cruise loves this cake.
Has it been talked about other than that one original article?
Not that I know of. I hadn't heard about it since. Now, maybe it is. Or maybe for the last several years
Right.
since that happened, people have just been coming in and getting this cake.
And it's honestly so good. If Adam is like, oh, I remember this cake from years ago.
Yes.
Sometimes it's not even that, oh, you're such a fan of Tom Cruise or something. If anybody says, this is my very favorite cake of all time, just knowing that somebody else really, really loves something always makes me curious.
Yes.
If you just said randomly, this is my very, very favorite kind of, peanut brittle, I would be like, oh, I'm just curious. If it's the all-time best peanut brittle, I'm intrigued.
And what was fun is when we were there at the bakery, we met the guy who always bakes that cake. And I was thinking he must just bake that cake all day long, every day.
Was there a picture of Tom Cruise there, like a headshot?
There was not.
And do you think that he meant to sort of give them this royal seal of approval, or?
I don't know. I mean, I think someone probably asked him, is there a gift you like to give? And maybe he said, I love to send people this cake. And it just took off. But it's nice for this bakery. I mean, it's a tiny bakery, Gretch.
Sure.
It's really a small little bakery. So it gives me great pleasure, both that the bakery has gotten so much out of this. It made me very happy to have the cake, which everybody did love. I will say, even like Jack tends not to enjoy cake. He's not a cake person. He loved the cake.
Right.
Now I feel like, oh, I can get this cake when we have people over. Like, it's a thing.
And can you send it, though, by mail? When Mom sent it to you, can you order it online?
What I don't know is if Mom just ordered it and had it delivered because it was close to the house, or if you could order it from anywhere in the country. That's a very good question.
There's some cake, and I don't eat it because I usually don't eat sugar, that Jamie sometimes gets, and I think it's from South Carolina, and it comes in a tin, and if you orders it online, every once in a while it just shows up. But that, I think, is definitely online because it comes in the mail. But fun!
Find out what it is and tell me, because
I will.
It's fun to seek these things out.
It is fun to seek these things out. And it is fun to support some kind of little independent business that is just doing something high quality, and you want them to get the benefit of that. That's so fun.
Yes. So that's the white chocolate coconut cake at Doan's Bakery, if anyone wants to look it up.
Fun.
What about you, Gretch? What's making you happier?
Well, our puppy Taffy is 6 months old now, and she's definitely getting easier.
Oh, yeah.
She is mostly house trained, which is great. And when I say she's mostly house trained, I mean, she has not had an accident, but we are on her all the time. So we don't give her an opportunity to use her judgment, you know what I mean? Or wander off, or put her in a situation where she has to think, do I wait until I'm uncomfortable, or do I just go ahead and go?
Right.
So we're monitoring. And because she is a puppy, we do not let her, Barnaby, we just let him go. He can go wherever he wants. We know what he's going to do. So he just wanders around as he wants to. Right now, recently he had to have surgery, poor guy. So he's actually locked in a room because he's not allowed to jump on furniture, which we allow him to jump on furniture all the time. So he is kind of locked off. But usually he would just be wandering around the apartment. So we do not allow her to do that. Now we know her ways. We know just how much walking she needs. We know how much sleep she needs. We know what treat she likes the best. We know she's got this funny toy that looks like a cob of corn with kind of a handle. That's her favorite toy. So we're like, oh, if we want to give her some fun, we're like, okay, let's throw the corn cob around and she'll go running after it. We got this thing. It's so cute. So she's a Cavapoo, and Barnaby never did this, but Tappy will go under a chair and just lurk there. She clearly liked that feeling. And so online, I found this thing. It's like a puppy cave, and it's a dog bed, but it has sort of a loose top, sort of an open envelope. And she just snuggles in there like a cave, and you just see her little face peeking out, and it just looks so cozy. Every time I see her in there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want a puppy cave. I want to go snuggle into my own puppy cave and just stick my head out when I take a nap.
So cute.
But so it's just delightful. And we're like, we know that she really likes that kind of thing.
Yeah.
She really likes her snuffle mat. She likes these kinds of chew toys.
So now is she feeling like a part of the family, integrated into the family, less new?
Yeah, she feels much less new. And when we're sort of like, oh, if she gets really bitey, that means she needs to go out. So we're reading her signals. We're in our patterns of when she barks in the morning, I'm the one who takes her out. Jamie always has to take her last before bed. we're getting into our patterns. Of course, everything is different now that Eleanor has gone back to school. That was an important helping hand that is now gone. So it's like having a kid where you think you've got it all figured out and then something changes.
Yeah.
She used to never bark, and now she's starting to bark. She doesn't bark like Nacho and Daisy, but she is starting to bark, trying to understand the barking. It's never the dog's fault. The streets of New York City. Some dogs get really scared in New York City. Like there's pedestrians, there's bikes, there's the sound of buses, there's sirens, there's trucks backing up, so they're beeping, there's trash trucks, there's huge bags of garbage, there's tree wells, there's lots of other dogs.
Yeah.
And so, at the beginning, she had a lot of nervousness, and it's really important that you help them become accustomed to it. And now she's like super chill. She loves saying hi to other dogs, but nothing phases her. She's like a real city dog now.
Aww.
So it's all of the fun, and she's more used to us, and we're more used to her, and she's just super cute. So that's making me happier.
Oh, good. Well, I still haven't met her, Gretchen, which is crazy to me. I got to get out to New York.
I know.
Okay, coming up, there's something you've been meaning to ask me, but first, this break. Gretch, you know how much I love Audible. Audiobooks are such a huge part of my life. I'm always telling people to start listening to audiobooks. What I love is that Audible has something for everyone. My most recent book I have teed up to listen to is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I am a huge romance lover, have been since I was 12 years old, and I've heard so much about this book. I cannot wait to start listening.
Yeah, that's the great thing about Audible. They have whatever you're in the mood for. You can hear modern rom-coms from authors like Lily Chu and Ali Hazelwood, the latest romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas and, yes, Rebecca Yarros, and Regency favorites like Bridgerton and Outlander, plus all the really steamy stuff. Whatever you're looking for, you can find the audiobook you will love. Your first great love story is free when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/happier.
This episode is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one website platform built to help you stand out and succeed online. Whether you're starting a passion project or scaling your business, Squarespace gives you everything you need to build your brand and get paid all in one place. With Squarespace, you don't need to be a designer to look like one. Their cutting-edge design tools and professionally built templates make it easy to create a site that feels custom to you. I love that you can start with Blueprint AI. It builds this personalized site in just a few clicks based on your goals and style.
And it's not just about looks. Squarespace helps you offer services, book appointments, and get paid right through your website. From scheduling to invoices to email campaigns, it's all integrated so you can spend less time on admin and more time on doing what you love. So if you've been waiting to launch that idea, now's the time. Head to squarespace.com/happy for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use code HAPPY to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/happy. Offer code HAPPY.
Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus powered by Peloton IQ. This is Peloton's most elevated equipment with real-time guidance and endless ways to move on your own or with your favorite instructors. It's cross-training reimagined with features designed to make your workout more personal. Gretch, you know that I love an instructor. I love to be told what to do and when to do it. I like to be able to take different classes to change it up, and with my personality, this is how I can get the best workout. The variety of classes I can get with the Cross-Training Tread Plus is unmatched. They have nailed it.
Peloton IQ even tracks your progress and suggests weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. The new movement tracking camera allows Peloton IQ to count your reps and correct your form in real time, taking the guesswork out of your workout so you can train safer, lift smarter, and make every rep count. Let yourself run, lift, sculpt, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
Okay, Gretch, we're back. What is it you've been meaning to ask me?
So, Elizabeth, on your Substack, your excellent Substack, which I love to read, even though I'm your sister, I'm like, what can I possibly not know? And then I'm like, oh, that's so interesting. I have to remember to follow up and ask Elizabeth about that. You talked about how you were really yearning to go back to the office. You really missed the office. That makes sense to me. I get why you would. You're a very social person. You get a lot of energy from being around other people, but you also live in LA where the traffic is so awful. So anyway, I was just curious to hear you talk through the pros and cons and what do you miss and why you said that. Lightly said that, and it made me very curious.
Yeah, well, it's really about, I feel like my world has just gotten a lot smaller over the last few years working at home. Now, I want to say some people are working at the office. It's just the way things have panned out. For Sarah and me, we have not been back to the office in a traditional sense. And I miss the people. I miss even just having a reason to put on jeans. Like I've been saying I want to get out of my athleisure and wear regular clothes, but I just feel like ridiculous walking around the house in just like an outfit. It just doesn't seem appropriate. It just seems absurd to me.
Well, the thing is, you and I are this way. When we go home, our mother is always like wearing a nice outfit.
Yeah.
And she's always like, why don't you just put on something simple? And I'm like,
Yeah.
You're wearing like an actual outfit. I am wearing yoga pants, running shoes, and some kind of nasty t-shirt with long sleeves.
No, and Mom looks so good.
And Mom looks so good. And to her, it's like, why wouldn't you just wear regular? This is our whole thing, Elizabeth, about when we were going to wear clothes. And it was such an effort to do it for 30 days.
We did it.
We did it. We've never done it again. And that was years ago now.
Yeah.
That was years ago. But paint a picture of when I think of going to the office, what did that look like sort of in its most standard format for you as a TV writer?
Well, I would get up, I would get dressed. Now, granted, I often just wore like jeans and a hoodie, but if we had a read through or a meeting with executives, I'd wear something nice. So occasionally I would be wearing a real nice outfit. Or we'd have lunch with people, so I'd wear a nice outfit for that. I'd go to the office. Sarah and I share an office, so we would be hanging around, talking, working. Then I'd be in the room for potentially hours at a time with 7 other writers. So that's talking. We would order lunch. We usually ate lunch with other people. We would also go on walks around the lot, taking walks with people.
You know what this is making me think, Elizabeth?
What?
It's like if we listen to old episodes of the podcast, walking around the lot, like that was a thing that you and Sarah talked about. There was a whole thing that we talked about, how to make it more efficient to order lunch. Like it was a big thing because you're like, you can waste 2 hours of time with people fussing about whether they want the Cobb salad or the Mediterranean salad.
Yes.
But it's funny. And now that's just
gone.
That's not part of your day. Yeah.
Yeah. And we would have meetings with people, for this or that, giving notes, getting notes. And now it's just everything is me walking in and out of our home office.
Right.
And there's just no change to it. There's no variation.
Right. Well, I do think as somebody who's very extroverted, you do get energy from being around other people.
Yes, and I just like to get to know other people.
Yeah.
You just do not get to know people on Zoom the way you do in person. You just don't.
Yeah.
There are many people that I have spent not insignificant amounts of time meeting with who I probably wouldn't even recognize if I saw them out in the world, because they just don't register the same. Now, I've also talked about my sort of mild face blindness, so that's an issue for me anyway, but never having met them in person.
Yeah.
I just don't have a full picture of what they look like.
Sometimes it was the glamorous part. Like I remember I went to go visit you on the Disney lot and it's like, oh, there's the building where, is it columns that look like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs?
Yeah, the Seven Dwarfs.
And they had the bicycle racks that were in the shape of Mickey Mouse head. And you're like, woo, I'm on the Disney lot. It just sounded so fabulous. I remember you'd go in for a pitch and you'd be like, oh, we were waiting in the lobby to go up and like this huge star walked by and it was like celebrity sighting.
Yes.
There were a lot of mini adventures or little bits of things that made it feel memorable and fun.
Yes. And because now pitches are on Zoom, we're not going into pitch. So, you're not seeing Brad Pitt in the Netflix lobby.
Yeah.
And What I've boiled it down to in my mind as I ponder this question is that it feels like my world is smaller.
Mm.
And I don't like that feeling. And the thing is, when your world gets smaller, as you and I have discussed on the podcast, your inclination is not to like go out and find ways to make it bigger. It's more just to not deal.
It's to hunker down.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm looking at and I want to work against.
It starts to feel like such a burden to like put on makeup or something like that.
Exactly.
Or like, oh, to get in your car and go anywhere. You're like, oh gosh, who wants to deal with it?
Now, I assume at some point I will be in an office for whatever reason. And I'm sure I'll long for the days when I worked at home,
Yes.
And
right.
I'll be like, I can't believe I spend 40 minutes each way to
Right.
get to the office.
Right.
But anyway, it's interesting. I mean, I think a lot of people are having the same experience. I mean, there are people now entering the workforce who haven't had a regular office job.
Right.
They like work from home only or the vast majority of the time. I think of 4 days or maybe 3 or 4 days in the office. That would be nice. I'd like to still work at home some of the time.
Right. Sometimes in, sometimes out. So sometimes you're with other people and getting the benefit of that. And sometimes you're avoiding the LA commute, which is really crushing.
I guess you always worked at home, Gretch.
Well, I worked my legal jobs when I was clerking, and then I worked at the Federal Communications Commission. And that was like a super intense job where it was big groups of people and meetings and lots of your first few jobs out of college kind of intensity. And it was super fun. And I remember when I switched to being a writer, it was very disconcerting for me. I also had a hard time. And I would always work outside my office. Remember, I tried to like work in a coffee shop or something because it took getting used to. And now, look, I do a lot of things where I collaborate with other people because I also am trying to bring in that energy of others. And yeah, there's just a flattening that comes from screens. It's just something that we have to take into account.
Yeah. And I do think that's why a lot of people are gravitating toward things where they see people, like conferences and conventions and panels and
live events,
lectures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is nice to just see people. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm sure, I'll be complaining about being in an office soon enough.
The grass is always greener, as they say. Here's a fun just side fact. When you say the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, like in writing Life in 5 Senses, it turns out that the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence because when you look down at your feet, you can see like all the brown of the stems and the dirt underneath you. But when you look from the side, you only see the green spears of grass. That is literally true.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, Gretch, what is our spotlight on a tool this week?
Well, speaking of books that I've written, my book on the 4 tendencies called, with great originality, The 4 Tendencies, came out 8 years ago. This is a book that came out of my book Better Than Before that was all about the 21 strategies we can use to make or break our habits, because using the 4 tendencies was one of the strategies, but then it just turned out it needed its whole book to describe it. So if you want to know more about the 4 tendencies, you may already know whether you're an upholder, questioner, or obliger, or a rebel. But it's really useful to know how to get that information to work for you. And, we have 3 months left of the year. So if there's something that you've been meaning to tackle and it's just not happening, one of the ways that you might unlock it is to think about your tendency and how you might work with your tendency. And this book, I wrote it to be like a real handbook. So it's full of strategies and tips for either being a certain tendency or dealing with that tendency, whether at work or at home. And you can find all about your tendency and all kinds of tools at happiercast.com/finish strong if you want it all sort of pulled together. Or you can just go to my website and poke around. There's tons about the 4 tendencies there.
Yes, love the 4 tendencies. All right, coming up, there's something you've been meaning to tell me, but first this break.
Cooler days call for layers that last, and Quince is my go-to for quality essentials that feel cozy, look refined, and won't blow your budget. Think $50 Mongolian cashmere, premium denim that fits like a dream, and luxury outerwear that you can wear year after year. These are the pieces that will turn into your fall uniform. I have several of the Quince cashmere sweaters. My favorite is I have a deep red, and then I also have a beautiful green. And I love having color, and I love having anything that's soft to the touch. These are 2 of the staples of my wardrobe.
I'm eyeing their wool coats. They look designer level, but cost a fraction of the price. And the quality is just as good, if not better. You know, I love Quince, Gretch.
Yeah.
Find your fall staples at Quince. Go to quince.com/Gretchen for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Gretchen to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Gretchen. Huge savings on Dell AI PCs are here, and it's a big deal. Why? Because Dell AI PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors are newly designed to help you do more faster. It's pretty amazing what they can do in a day's work. They can generate code, edit images, multitask without lag, draft emails, summarize documents, create live translations. They can even extend your battery life so you never have to worry about forgetting your charger.
It's like having a personal assistant built right into your PC to cover the menial tasks so you can focus on what matters. That's the power of Dell AI with Intel Inside. With deals on Dell AI PCs, like the Dell 16 Plus, starting at $749.99, it's the perfect time to refresh your tech and take back your time. Upgrade your AI PC today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. So, Gretch, October 10th is World Mental Health Day, and this year we are saying thank you, therapists.
Yes.
You know how much I appreciate therapists in my own life. Therapy has made such a huge difference. When I was a young, aspiring television writer and thinking I might quit because it was too hard, my therapist really talked me through it, and I wouldn't have my career today without her.
BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can find the right person to help you focus on your therapy goals. If you aren't happy with your match, you can switch to a different therapist at any time from their tailored recommendations. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Gretchen Rubin. That's betterhelp.com/Gretchen Rubin.
Okay, Gretch, we're back. There's something you've been meaning to tell me. What is it?
This is just something that makes me so happy, and so I just want to talk about it. So I think that something that is such a source of happiness for me is when I make a recommendation to someone where I'm like, I think you will really like this. And then they follow up, which is itself satisfying because often people don't follow up. But if they do and they're like, oh my gosh, I loved your recommendation, it is such a feeling of satisfaction, right?
Yes, it is so satisfying. You know what? This just happened to me yesterday.
What?
Somebody emailed us and said, because I had talked about Manjaro and said how great it had been for me, that they had tried Manjaro, which is a weight loss drug, and they'd lost 65 pounds.
Wow.
And they said me talking positively about it was one of the things that made them decide to try it. So that was really nice. Now, I wasn't like recommending it actively, but I sort of took it as that.
Right. Well, she was interested in your experience, and that was helpful.
Yeah.
Or the listener who told us about Los Olivos, and we're like, that's a great idea.
Yes.
I just had a particularly happy experience. Okay, so, you know, I have my 5 Things Making Me Happy newsletter that I do every Friday. That's just 5 things making me happy. And one of the things that made me happy, because I just felt like this is the kind of thing that shows like a deep impulse in human nature, which was recently in the Tour de France, there was a biker who in full biking kit jumped into the race and tried to cross the finish line right ahead of the actual competitors. And of course, he was like immediately taken down and it was a whole thing. But I thought, when this happens, I'm like, ooh, this feels like a deep aspect of human nature. Like that just gives me this feeling of satisfaction. So a friend of mine who's a New York Times reporter, Sarah Lyle, who's a good friend, she said, oh, I read your newsletter and I want to recommend to you, because maybe you'd be interested, this story that I wrote for the New York Times all the way back in 2016 called Swim, Bike, Cheat, about this woman, Julie Miller. who faked completion and winning various triathlete competitions. So these were these grueling competitions, and she got away with it for years. But finally, she got caught because she did what's called cutting courses, where you skip part of the course, but you pretend that you did the whole thing. But anyway, I immediately read Sarah's article. I was like, this is fascinating. But the thing that was most interesting to me was that they were trying to figure out why she had done it, because these are just like competitions that people do for satisfaction. It's not like you're getting huge prize money.
You're cheating yourself.
You're cheating. And that was literally what one of the people quoted in the article said. They're like, you're cheating yourself. There's no prize money. There's no Olympic gold medal.
Yeah.
Like, this is just for you. So why would you do it? Well, it seemed from the article that one of the reasons she did it was that she was treated like a hero in her hometown. She was in her town. She was a minor celebrity, the person who could do it all. Motherhood, full-time work, her own business, training, winning. And so it was like, it sounded to me like she just really liked the attention and the affirmation that she got from it. So then I texted back Sarah and I was like, hey, this reminded me of Scamanda. I'm like, actually, you may have been the person who told me to listen to Scamanda, but this really makes me think of Scamanda. And she immediately texted back, I've never even heard of it. What is Scamanda? And I was like, oh, Scamanda is a podcast. You will love it. Okay, so then she texted back, fab, I'm on it. So if you don't know, Scamanda is a podcast that tells the story of Amanda Riley, who was this just a charming, attractive young woman who pretended to have cancer to get sympathy and financial support from her church and from the public. And she had this big online following where she would document her cancer journey, but an investigative reporter uncovered it. And it seemed like a big part of hers. Well, she did get a lot of financial benefits and free stuff, but it seemed like what she was, from listening to the podcast, which is my only source of information, it seemed like she really wanted to be a role model and inspiration and get all this positive attention for like her bravery and being a role model. Okay, so the next text I get from Sarah is like, OMG, that podcast. I only listen to them usually when walking around outside to and from things, but in this case, I couldn't stop. I resented having to eat dinner and talk to Bill and then being forced to bed. What a story, and I can't wait to discuss. And it made me so happy because I'm like, I knew you would love it, and you did, and you listened to it when I recommended it. So that just made me happy.
Yeah, it is. It's very flattering when somebody follows your recommendation. I had a friend who wanted a book recommendation for flying to Europe, which I felt like was fairly high stakes.
Yes.
Because you
you're
want to
stuck.
be entertained. So I told her, I came out strong and I said, The Women by Kristen Hanna. This is the book that you should read on the plane.
Okay.
And she did, and she loved it. So I was very gratified. And now she's always turning to me for recommendations for the plane because I did right by her.
Yeah.
So it is very gratifying.
And then I had this thing where my trainer, my high intensity weight training trainer, had recommended to me something that's called a trigger point self-massage tool, or it's sometimes called like a manual massage cane. It's like this plastic S-shaped thing where you can get at your own, the knots in your back. And he told me about it and I got it. And I was like, Mike, I loved it. It's amazing. And then I gave one to like our parents and I was like, you will love it. And they love it. And then Jamie's very hard to please. Often I will recommend things to him or I'll be like, you've got a headache. Maybe this would work. They kind of often don't. But even he was like, oh, this is really good. And it just fills me with such delight. I got a recommendation and I'm passing that recommendation along. It just feels good.
It does. And I got one of those for Adam based on your recommendation. So it's going far and wide.
I will post a link in the show notes. It's kind of hard to describe.
Yeah.
It's got knobs on it so you can do it. But one of the things, because this is true, one thing that I do to be friendly and to show my good feelings towards somebody else, and often because I honestly, and well, usually because I honestly want to do it, is that if somebody recommends something to me, I'll be like, oh, let me pull out my phone and make a note of that. You're telling me that this book is really good. I'm going to make a note of that title. You're telling me that this television show, you think I would really enjoy it. I'm going to write that down. And people always have kind of a pleased look on their face. There is just something that is very energizing and self-affirming when somebody's listening to you.
Well, it's also like knowledge, like somebody knows you and you know them. Like my friend Michelle recommends books to me and I recommend books to her. And we just know what each other is going to find entertaining.
Yes.
And that is just a good feeling.
No, and it makes you feel closer to someone where you're like, yeah I get you. And speaking of my 5 Things newsletter, sign up for my 5 Things newsletter at happiercast.com/newsletter if you're interested, because I have so much fun putting together. Maybe I'll put Scamanda in it because I don't think I ever recommended it. It's so interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Gretch, what is our secret of adulthood today?
Well, this secret of adulthood is inspired by our discussion because the secret is a quest is more fun than a jaunt. And so I would say, like, going to buy a Tom Cruise white chocolate coconut cake is more fun than just going to buy a cake. And going to a town like Los Olivos, that it's all about olives and grapes. It's got like a strong theme. It's like you're going there for the grapes. It's more fun than just going to some cute little town. A quest is more fun than a jaunt.
Yes, I agree 100%.
So, Elizabeth, are you feeling happier?
Yes, I am feeling happier. Thank you to Chuck. And if you haven't subscribed to Lemonada Premium yet, now is the perfect time. You get to listen ad-free. Just tap that subscribe button on Apple Podcasts or go to lemonadapremium.com to subscribe on any other app. Bye, Gretch.
Bye, Elizabeth. The best time to start a happiness project is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Well, Elizabeth, you know what's funny is when I went to visit you on the Disney lot, you and Sarah had the same office and you had your 2 treadmill desks. And that's like for your podcast, for Happier in Hollywood, that's why it's from the treadmill desks of, because it really was this thing where there were the 2 of you on your treadmill desks, writing and chatting away. I remember when you moved your treadmill desk back home.
Yep, me too. And I still have boxes in the garage of stuff from our office that was hanging on the walls.
Yeah. From the Onward Project.
Hi, Gretchen, Craig Robinson, and my little sister Michelle here. We host a new podcast called IMO with Michelle Obama and Craig Robinson. We know you're the queen of giving advice, so we wanted to get a few tips from you.
You know, Gretchen, a lot of our listeners are going through some major life changes. What advice do you have for folks who are trying to stay grounded in the midst of major life transitions?
Craig and Michelle, I am so happy to be talking to you. Here are a few questions that might help us gain perspective. So consider questions like this. What activities take up my time but are not particularly useful or stimulating for me? Do I spend a lot of time on something that's important to someone else, but is not very important to me? If I could magically change one habit in my life, what would I choose? And here's a question. Would I like to have more time in solitude, restorative solitude, or would I like to have more time with friends? You know, just thinking about questions like this can help us start to figure out how we might make our lives happier. With greater self-knowledge, we're better able to make hard decisions that reflect ourselves, our own nature, our own interests, our own values. In my own case, I have found that the more my life reflects my nature, the happier I get, and the more grounded I feel when I'm going through a period of major change or transition. For more great advice, search for IMO with Michelle Obama and Craig Robinson wherever you get podcasts. You can listen to Issa Rae on letting go of certain friendships, Kiki Palmer on why disappointment is actually the key to career success, Seth and Lauren Rogan on caring for aging parents, and so many more.